is not a commentary on whether or not Gerrit Cole was worth the money. This is not a commentary on whether or not Gerrit Cole will be successful in New York. The answers to all of that will become obvious as night and day at some point down the road. But you can't say last night didn't mean anything. Let's just talk about the here and now. You've lost 7 out of 8 to a team that leads the division in the league. Yes, the Rays are a good team, but aren't the Yankees also supposed to be one of the best teams in baseball, no matter who takes the field? Don't we talk about their depth and how that's one of their strengths? And Moose, momentum in baseball is so tricky because if you believe in the cliche that it's only as good as your next day's starter, then Gerrit Cole was supposed to keep the momentum going. You just came off a series where you punched the Mets in the mouth. You sent the Mets reeling, and Cole was supposed to be the next person in line to just start throwing haymakers, and instead, he's the one who exits with the black eye, and he's searching for answers.
He was no good. And listen, the Rays own the Yankees. I mean, the Rays are the Yankees' daddy right now. I mean, there's no other way to cut it. And if you're a Yankee fan, it's easy to go out there and excuse it and say, well, it's just the regular season.
Sure.
Yankees aren't healthy. We'll see what the Yankees do come October. But there is a rhythm to a baseball season, even a condensed baseball season as well, to where you're building up to something. You always see it. I mean, a team can transition and be totally different, say, in a normal baseball season in April as compared to August or September. I mean, the Mets in 2015 were a perfect case in point. You look at the Chicago Cubs, swept them in the regular season. The Mets swept the Chicago Cubs in the National League Championship Series on their way to the World Series, where they eventually lost to the Kansas City Royals. So
the Nationals
we do
last year.
see that. I mean, the very fact of the matter is that you look at this Yankee team and you look at the Rays. The Rays, if you want to say, well, the Yankees aren't healthy, the Rays' payroll is about $60 million.
They're not healthy either.
It's not like they've got one all-star after another up and down that lineup, and yet, you know what? They're 19-3 in their last 22 games. Gerrit Cole went out there on the mound last night and laid an absolute egg. I mean, there's no other way to put it, but that's exactly what Gerrit Cole did. And you know what? As a Yankee fan, I am frustrated. Honestly, I am. I don't want to see a guy all of a sudden, against the Atlanta Braves, they had home runs that totaled nearly 1,300 feet. You saw more home run power from a non-traditional home run hitting team in Tampa Bay. It's not like they've got a murderer's row. They don't have Barry Bonds in the middle part of that lineup. And you've got guys like Choi going out there and taking Cole deep. So it's a similar scenario of what you've seen from this Yankee team. So you want to say, well, it doesn't really matter. It's the regular season, expanded playoffs. Yankees are going to make the postseason. True. I get that. I understand the point that you're making, but still, when you look at regular season baseball, as I said over the weekend, there were Yankee fans who were basically ready to jump off a bridge after Friday night and then calm down after what transpired Saturday and Sunday against the Mets and the tremendous comeback that they had 7-2 down, bottom of the 7th inning on Sunday afternoon. And then you come to this game and you get Cole on the mound and you need your ace to deliver, and he was a dud. And I can't listen to Boone say, well, he's rounding into midseason form. Not the midseason form for the last 2 years with the Astros. He's not rounding into that form because the last 2 years with the Houston Astros, he had 600-plus strikeouts. I mean, he was readily unhittable, and he had that shutout streak. So I don't want to hear about all of a sudden he's given up 12 home runs so far this season. 12 home runs. So you want to say that Boone and say, well, guys are going all out. They're changing their approach. Well, whatever it might be, they're having success. They're having success against Gerrit Cole. He's not been successful against the Tampa Bay Rays, right? We got into 3 starts prior, him cursing out the manager as he's being taken off the mound. His next start, he was not particularly good over 5 innings. He wasn't good last night, against the Tampa Bay Rays. So you look at this scenario, yes, you're not going to judge Cole and say, well, it's not worth the $324 million that you gave him in the offseason. But if we're grading out a game that having some sort of meaning here in the regular season, and this team kind of coming together and playing better baseball, the Yankees aren't, and the Rays are. And they've owned the Yankees this season, and if it doesn't bother you as a Yankee fan, I don't know what to tell you.